This is Dr. Shannon Susi, and we're going to be discussing paths where your data is stored. So paths are the addresses that indicate where your data is stored. You may be familiar with working with paths in this format here, where you see a directory and several subdirectories. We have that view of the notebook that we're currently in over here on the left. And you can see that in my home directory, which is called Jupyter in this case, I have 4 subdirectories. I have flashcards, images, materials, and Nosy Dartmouth Bioinformatics. If I select my materials, you can see I have other subdirectories. And in particular, there's another subdirectory called images. So if I told you to go to the images file, that wouldn't be very clear whether I wanted you to go to the images file within the materials directory or the images file that's back in my home directory. And so for that, we need a path. And so a path is going to be something like this, where here we don't know if we want the data file that's in project 1 or project 2. And so we give a very clear path. So I want you to go to the data analysis directory, within that, the project 1 directory, and within that, the data directory. And each directory is indicated by this /. Paths can be either absolute or relative. An absolute path is going to always start with a / indicating the root or the base of the directory structure. So you can kind of think of a directory structure like a tree. So if we go over to our terminal, when you type PWD, which stands for Print Working Directory, you're going to see the absolute path of your current working directory. And so here I'm in home Jupyter, which is my current working directory. If I move into the materials directory, I can do that with the absolute path. So I'll use CD, which stands for change directory, and I will type home Jupyter, and I'm auto completing this with tab. And then I can type materials. And again, when I use PWD, you can see this is where I am. I can also use relative paths. So relative paths do not begin with the /, and the address that you provide to the change directory command, CD, is going to be relative to your position in the directory structure. So let's say I want to move to the images folder, and I want to move to the images folder that's within my materials directory. So instead of typing home Jupyter, materials, images, which is the absolute path, because I'm already in materials, I can actually just write home CD images. And it knows, because of my position right now, the images folder that I'm going to enter in is going to be the one that is inside of my materials folder. So now my absolute path is home, Jupyter, materials, images. Now, if I wanted to navigate to the images folder that's in the Jupyter directory, I can leverage this double dot. And the double dot means move up one directory level. So we're going to move up one level, and that's going to bring us from images to materials. Then we're going to move up one more level to get into Jupyter. And then we're going to move to our images file. And if I have done this correctly, when I hit the tab button, this should auto-complete to images. So now if I use my PWD to figure out where I am in home, Jupyter, images. So you can see that absolute paths, it's very clear exactly where you're pointing to. Relative paths can be tricky. Here, I've shown that with that double dot command. It can be tricky because you need to know exactly where you are in the directory structure so that you can get to exactly where you want to be.